Welcome to the Moore Realtors Weekly St. Louis Real Estate Market Update. I'm Dennis Norman, one of the brokers at Moore, and if you'll give me a few minutes of your time, I'll bring you up to date on what's happening in the St. Louis housing market. Let's jump right in with the real estate news from St. Louis's best local source for real estate news and information, stlouisrealestatenews.com. Headlines this past week include 30-year fixed-rate mortgages fell to match an all-time record low at 3.94%. It's amazing how cheap interest rates are. St. Louis foreclosures increased in November from October. However, they're down 18% from November of 2010, which is good news. St. Louis mortgage rate update from a local mortgage banker, and as well as he gives information on VA loans that are available for veterans to buy homes under some great terms. And finally, an article about the National Association of Realtors, who have come out now and said that sales were weaker than people thought over the past 5 years, as they have overstated sales data due to some errors in the data collection. This is something I wrote an article for St. Louis Real Estate News about back in February, after a report came out from CoreLogic that indicated that they felt the realtors were overstating home sales. So we'll see what next week they're going to come out with a new report based upon this corrected data. So we'll see what the report shows next week. Okay, now let's jump into our market data. And the first 3 slides here are based on real-time market data, what's going on in the market out there right now for the entire St. Louis metropolitan area. And so this will be the entire St. Louis MSA, including some adjoining counties across the river on the Illinois side. And we can see the median price of homes on the market is $177,000. Median asking price per foot, $96 a foot. That's pretty much a range it's been in for a while. The average days on market, the average home's been on the market a little over 6 months with a 185-day average. And then there's some other data there. We'll jump down to our trademarked market action index. It is at a 16 this week, which is just slightly up from last week's 15. And a quick reminder on the market action index, this looks at the overall health of the market, supply, demand, how prices are doing, and sales prices versus asking prices. Lots of data, and then puts it, assigns an index number to it. A 30 would mean it's a perfectly balanced market, not favoring buyers or sellers. As it goes above a 30 to a maximum of 60, the higher it goes, the hotter the market is. Unfortunately, we haven't seen anything like that since this index's inception back in '09. As it goes down below 30, it's a cold market, a buyer's market, all the way down to a 0. And so at 16, we are definitely in a cold market or a buyer's market. This chart here shows where it's been since its inception back in late '08 or early '09. And we're pretty much we're at the range. It's almost about as good as it gets. We're at about 16 now, and that's about the peak it's been since its inception. It's been down as low as almost 11.5. So at least relatively speaking, over the last couple of years, the market's in as good a shape as it's been, at least according to this index. And this here, again, for the entire St. Louis MSA, this shows the median home price trend. The orange line represents a 90-day average, so a little more of a longer-term trend. The black line is a 7-day average. So the black line's a little quicker to show where the trend's headed. But we can see over the past year, prices have dipped down in the winter, rose up in the summer as we would expect, and have been falling as we went into winter. If we look at the black line, the 7-day average, we got some pretty sharp declines there. So, will we see another dip here in the coming months? Will we get back down to as low as it was back here in March or April when the median home prices hit about 172? I don't know, but potentially so. Now I'm going to jump into some market data. We're going to zoom in on the market a little bit to more of our core market, which is the St. Louis 5-county area, which would be comprised of data from the city of St. Louis County, St. Charles County, Jefferson County, and Franklin County. This first slide here shows the number of sales as well as the average sales price. The blue columns represent the number of sales, and we can see that November closed out just a little under the 2,000 homes sold mark, so a little bit behind October that it closed out a little above that mark. Average prices, the green line, we can see how they bounced around, and but basically in November, yeah, they were right around the $150,000 mark, and and again, that's a sold price. This slide here shows the median home, median home sales prices as well as median numbers of days to sell. So this is what homes are actually selling for and how long it's taking them to sell for that for this 5-county area. And we can see that the yellow line, which is the sales price median, that over the past year, the median prices have went from about a little under 115. I'm sorry, about 110. Up to well above 125, maybe 130, and have been falling since the end of summer. September, October, November were pretty much almost flat, so I shouldn't say falling. They're falling slightly. We can see the days on market, the red line, what it's done to bounce around, and it has definitely been on the rise, although it is trending downward in October and November there. This next slide here, this shows the ratio of what the sales price of the homes versus what they were listed for, the asking price. And I look at this two ways. The yellow line at the top represents the ratio or what percentage of the current list price homes sold for, so after whatever adjustments have been made while the house sat on the market. The red line at the bottom looks at the percentage of the original list price that the home ultimately sold for, so compared to what the price was when the house first hit the market. Now this slide, as I say every week, is not an indicator of property values or home values. This is really a realtor scorecard. This shows basically how up to date on the market the listing agents are out there, and how well they're using whatever data and tools and resources they have available to themselves to educate themselves on the market, and then be able to properly educate those sellers that they're coming in contact with when they list their homes. And as we can see, unfortunately, it's pretty poor, because the red line here, we can see through October, November, homes have been selling for just barely above 90% of what they were originally listed for. So being overpriced by 10% is way too much in this market. This is a market, you have to remember, if you go back and look at those the median sales prices here, see, look what the prices have been doing. Now again, they did rise a little bit going into summer, but as we see on when we look at a chart here in a little bit, the long-term trend, prices since '06 have been going down. So when a house comes on the market, if it's overpriced to start with, every day it sits on the market, it's literally losing value. Now I'm talking very general here, because real estate is very local, and there are markets locally here where we're seeing some price increases, but I'm talking generally as a whole. As soon as a house hits the market, it starts going down in value. It's like driving a new car off the lot. Everybody knows that's going to depreciate the minute you drive it off the lot. So this is, and now that homes have kind of followed that pattern a little bit, this is why it's so important that they be priced right to start with. And again, a little sales pitch for more. This is something that we really pride ourselves on. I feel we have more data and more accurate data available to our agents than any other firm in St. Louis. We spend a lot of time educating our agents and studying the market and reporting on the market so that we know the market, and we make sure our agents have the tools to be able to share this information with sellers in a way that will help the sellers understand the data that's being presented to them, and help them understand why they need to price their home accordingly and properly when they come out on the market. So let's jump ahead here now. This is a chart that shows the listing inventory. So how many months supply of homes do we have out there? Something that'd be about 6 months or under would be a reasonably healthy market. We can see we've bounced around here, but basically we've been fluttering around the 8-month mark. In November we closed out close to about 9 months, so still many more homes on the market than what the demand really can justify. So We'd like to see this come down some more. And finally, this is the slide I mentioned a minute ago. This shows a trend of home price and list price trend, or sales price and list price trend for the past 5 years. So basically from the peak of the market in 2006 to now. The blue line shows what's been happening with median list prices, and we can see they've went from 170 back in 06 for this 5-county area down to dropping below 140 now. And the actual sales prices going from a median of about 157 back in 06, dropping down to about 120 now. And this is why, again, it's just so critical that homes are priced right from the beginning when they hit the market. Okay, so there you have it. That's just a quick overview of the market. This is a very, very small piece of the market data that we have available, and the reports and other information that we have available for you, that whether you're a buyer, a seller, an investor, can help you understand the market and make informed decisions. Come visit our site, our website, if you would, at mo-re.com. That's mo like Missouri -re like realestate.com. There you can find all sorts of charts on the data on the market, like what I've shown you here. You can subscribe to market data reports for specific markets, such as Creve Coeur, Chesterfield, Baldwin, Jennings, whatever. For a specific market, you can obtain comprehensive market reports free weekly via email. Here's a shot of our newsletter. We've got a monthly electronic newsletter that comes out that's filled with market data, market news, and all sorts of information. This year, you can subscribe to these market updates to our podcast on iTunes. You can go to iTunes and search St. Louis Real Estate Market Update. And check out our Facebook page, facebook.com//more realtors. And here you'll see me, my business partner John Williams, and our newest partner and manager of the Creve Coeur office, Nick Seapack. And finally, on this page here, if you've got a QR code scanner on your phone, which more and more people have today, I'd suggest you scan this code. This will take you to a web page that has all the resources I just talked about here, and make it easy for you to get to the there's QR codes on that page that you can then scan or click on to sign up for our newsletter, to go to our market stats page, go to our podcast channel, or whatever. And here's the legal stuff for you to read at your leisure. And that is it. So I'm going to put it back on this the QR code slide here so you can scan that. But until next week, I hope you have a great week. God bless you and your family, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.